Hello class, this is Dr. Kamran Ali and today I'm going to recapitulate context of situation in systemic functional grammar. Let's have a look at our first slide. Let me use a marker for you guys. Okay, here we go. Now, this table has got three concepts. First one is context of situation, second one is semantics meanings, and third one is lexicographic wordings. Now, these three concepts have been put parallel, right, in three columns, and all of these three, right, have three categories. And that's why I have termed it as analogous notions. That means they complement each other, right? And they stand parallel to each other. They do match each other, right? Okay, now let's have a look at the first one, that is field. Field is what's going on. It's the first category of context of situation. Now, this means that what is the subject matter, right? Okay, in the text. Now, you need to understand all of this in two ways. One as the producer of the text, another as an analyzer of the text. Now, if you are a producer of the text, you will choose a field, the subject matter. You would observe that field, and based on experiences, you are going to put your experience in wordings, right? Lexicographic wordings, right? So you will go from field and based on field, you are going to assign meanings. And when you're assigning meanings, you got to choose language, right? So the language use jumps in here. On the other hand, if you are an analyzer of the text, right? You're analyzing a text or you're the receiver of the text, right? You would definitely face uh, the language first, right? Okay. And once you read the language use, you probably would understand the experience of the writer, right? And you would also come to know about the field, the subject matter, which is being dealt in that text. Now, these are the two ways to look at any text, right? Okay, and if you feel that no, you're comfortable with this approach, that even if you're analyzing a text, right, you would like to go from field to ideational and then to clauses representation. That's your choice. That is also a very good approach. But logically, when we look at any text, actually, we come across clauses representation first, then ideational, then field, or clauses exchange first, and then we understand the interpersonal is, elements, right? Okay, involved, and we understand the role of the tenor and all that. On the other hand, when we are producing any text, right, we actually assume all of these things. We rather assuming, rather you actually analyze all of these things first, and then accordingly, you make selection from these three categories, right? Anyway, I hope you have understood that. Now let's talk about the third category, that is mode. Mode means how are the meanings being exchanged, right? For example, if you're producing a text for an advertisement, right? Okay, of course, then your choices, right? Okay, to organize a text, right, or to create to organize a text and to exchange the meanings in the text with the audience, right? Okay, would depend on what channel you have opted for. On the other hand, if you have chosen to communicate through an article, right? Of course, your clauses as message, right? Or clause as message, the elements in clauses as message would be entirely different. I believe you've understood that, but to understand it better, we need to analyze a text first. But please keep one thing in mind. You can go from here to there, or you can go from this direction too. that direction. So both are possible, and there is no one rule to that. Especially when it's a difficult text, it's better that you when you're analyzing a difficult text, it's better that you go from here to here to understand the meaning. Or when you're producing a text, right, not analyzing, it's better that you go from field to ideational and this. And always remember that when you are analyzing clauses representation, right, you're actually trying to understand the meanings, and you're also trying to understand the subject matter there. Okay, so let's go ahead and analyze an advertisement. We have limited time, so I won't be able to um, give you in-depth analysis of that text, but yes, I'll touch upon the broad things. I hope you understand that. Just wait, let me erase all of this. All right, class. Here we go. And yes, just look at this one. Let's suppose you want to analyze this. And in order to analyze it, you actually again need to recall from the things from the previous table. And as I told you that when you're analyzing, it's better that you start off uh, with lexicogrammar rather than, semantics meanings, or rather than analyzing what you call that, the first element, the context of situation, right? Okay, so here we have transitivity, right? Can you figure out what processes are involved here? I can is made. That means creation process is involved here, and I can see our mac and cheese. This is these two are participants in this clause, right? So uh, food is the participant basically, and that is being created, right? This is fine. And if I look at the number of clauses, there are just two clauses here. Um, so in terms of transitivity, I can see that one is relational and another is this one um is what you call that material, and this one is relational and material. This one is create. This one is creation, right? Okay, and whereas this simply shows because in relational we have attributive and identifying, and I believe this one is attributive. So now, okay, we have identified everything over here. We can identify here that this process is creation, this process is relational. But what does it communicate to us? That's something, you really need to look at. Uh, One thing which I understand that they are claiming that something is being created, and that's of course food, right? And then they're saying that the way it's being created, that is worth. Now, if they're claiming that something is being created, right? Okay, and through transitivity, we understand that, and they're also claiming that this existence, right, uh, is is actually because of the way it is created, right? So that's why it's worth smiling about. So if you just look at these two clauses, right? Okay, now you can say that they have using a material process, and that material process they have used creation, right? Okay, and this is, of course, transitivity is involved here, and uh, and they have in the second one is the relational. So they have, like, put one create one what you call that creative process clause with the creative process, another clause with the relational process, and they have put these two clauses together. And in the relational process, the attribute they give, right, that is related to the thing they have created. So this is, see, now maybe slightly different dimensions with some evidence, right? That's what exactly SFL does. And that's why it's a very good tool for text analysis. Now, this is just one aspect I've discussed so far. I have touched upon the field. The field is what? Food, right? In which food is being created, right? Okay. And the food is something with worth smiling about. Okay. That's what I have just, discussed so far. There are other elements. For example, uh, if I just look at the second category in lexical grammar, that is clause as exchange, right? So in clause as exchange, we have mood and modality. Now in mood, we can see over here the clauses are declarative. That means they are claiming something. These are the statements. And when we see that there are no, modal verbs being used here, right? Okay, that means uh, they are presenting their text or their message or the meaning as as facts, right? Or as a fact. Okay, so I have, like, taken out two interpretations based on clauses exchange, right? And I understand because this leads towards interpersonal, and then this leads towards the tenor. So here the tenor is the one who is being addressed to. The receiver of the message is the tenor here, right? And that receiver of the message is being told about a claim, receiving a claim, right? And that's what exactly it's all about. So you can see that all these transitivity and this clauses exchange, which we call mode, right? Okay, not mode, sorry, mode. Sorry for the slip class. Okay, mode and modality. And finally, we have one more thing which we call um, uh, themes and reams, right? Okay, clause as message. If you just look at the clause as message, that should also be supporting this. We can see that our mac and cheese is being given prominence because this is marked theme, right? And here, this is one marked and another is unmarked, right? And we see that there are no conjunctions, right? Between two sentences, right? So I don't see any parenthetic hypothetical relations. Apart from that, I don't see any textual themes as well. So this means this text is quite plain. And because it's a plain text, right? Okay, it actually tells us that it is the mode, it justifies the mode, right? So that is the advertisement. So this is how you analyze, it with in three different ways, and you put together all of those things, and you can safely, right? Okay, interpret with evidence, right? That's what exactly SFL does. Uh, it's just such a short text, right? But you can see that I can come up with multiple things here. So this is how you got to analyze any text, any stretch of language, right? Using SFL. And let me tell you one thing more, that it's not difficult, but you make it complex when you try to analyze it with all three approaches, right? You are uh, looking at the field, you are looking at the tenor, you're looking at the mode, you're exploring transitivity, you're exploring what you call clause as exchange, right? In that mode and modality, you're also exploring because this is a short text, right? It was very easy to handle. When I apply all of them, I investigated and looked into all these three things, right? Okay, that was fine. That was controllable. But when you choose a large text, my suggestion is that you analyze one thing at a time.